problem if you burn it down.
Oh gosh, what was the if anybody's ever read the first Dragonlance series, Fizban is always like trying to remember a spell, and he's always like, "Was that one fireball?" And everybody's like, "No, stop."
You're a vampire and you can't get invited in. Fireball solves the problem easily.
All right,
Can't be uninvited if there's no house.
Exactamundo.
Okay, share.
Hey. Is Penguin joining as well?
Unfortunately, she's not feeling well, so I will be running her character as well. We were supposed to have a new person, but they dropped out at the last second, so well, no, they never. Yeah, they never responded back. I was trying to figure out what happened, but they dropped out.
Too bad.
Yeah. All right, so we'll make do though. All right, so what happened last time was you guys had finished kind of clearing out the winery, taking down the last two druids. You found a pretty sweet staff that one of them was maniacally holding. The twisted staff, staff of made out of a Golthias tree. Golthias tree is a tree that was, the legend has it, was planted. Basically, somebody planted a stake that had been driven through a vampire, and out this stake kind of grew into the Golthias tree, which emanates evil and just has been used by evil druids in different places. People will take certain druids will take little pieces of it and go plant it in other spots and stuff. So this is a staff made of it. It has a few things which you've already been able to look at that has control over certain things and vampiric touch and stuff like that. That's embedded in it. Hopefully you got a chance to look over that since our last meeting.
Yep, reading it now as well.
So Davian arrived shortly after you guys finished off the last of the druids and chased away the last of the blights. And he basically was. You guys were talking about the next move, and he suggested helping his boys take the wine up to Krezk, which is where you needed to go anyways, because the burgomaster wouldn't let you in until you were able to help him return his flow of wine. So it's kind of lining up there for you. And Krezk is where the abbey is, where you might be able to find a sanctuary for Arena. And so you're heading that direction. That you will need to probably discuss the idea of maybe clearing out those druids after you're done there, because they seem to be upping their attacks periodically. One of the druids even mentioned some bigger one that you interrogated mentioned a much more devastating attack to come within the next 3 days. But Davian isn't entirely sure that that's going to happen. He says they've been threatening huge attacks for a while now, but postponing, getting the wine to where it needs to go is what's he needs to get his business back to going again. So he's okay with you guys doing that first, but he definitely wants you to come back and help out with the druids as soon as you're done there. And so he offered you free stay in his rooms upstairs to get a long rest. And so you guys, kind of took up with some of the rooms upstairs, the adult rooms and not the kids' room. The Marketovs all kind of stayed in the master bedroom and in the kids' rooms to give you guys a room to yourself. There was about 4 beds, so 4 of you slept in beds. The others kind of like took some blankets and stuff and kind of made something on the floor and slept through that. All except for Dead Guy, who didn't need to sleep. So,
yes, sucker.
Dead Guy, you just kind of contemplated your newfound ability to create fireballs.
Yeah.
Contemplating whether or not you should go out and try to see how well it works, because all of the wood around you is just a little too flammable.
So it worked really well, you're saying?
All right. So you all wake up the next morning pretty early. Actually, Davian knocks on your door and kind of wakes you up. The boys are leaving here in about 15 minutes. If you could escort them, that would be great.
All right, sounds like a plan. We're anxious to get to Krezk.
Right, I will see you downstairs then. And you hear him stumbling off. And he says, "Oh, before you go downstairs, if you want to stop and get some breakfast, go over to the dining room and have some breakfast." And so
excellent.
when you make it over to the dining room, there's some stuff that's been left out for you. Someone had a nice breakfast made. They've got some steak and eggs and stuff that they had made. Everything that wasn't destroyed or taken by the druids is what's left. They seem to be doing pretty well as far as food goes. Their pantry was pretty stocked. So they made some nice little breakfast for you here. You guys take about 15 minutes to get everything kind of gobbled down real quickly, and then you make your way down the stairs. And as you make your way out onto the loading docks, you can see that the boys have already, his two sons here have already started to hitch up the horses onto the cart and are ready to take off. They'll be riding on the cart, and you guys will kind of be escorting it, as kind of a guard to make sure that it doesn't get disturbed on its way to the Krezik. Okay.
Away we go.
All right. Excellent. Well then, I will see all of you later then. He kind of wishes his boys good luck, and then he heads up the stairs into the winery. So you guys can you can ride all ride on the cart essentially. You can kind of like hang on the sides and stuff like that, but the two boys are kind of riding up front on the actual front of the cart.
Excellent. We'll make better headway.
Also, Pigwin got a new model.
I noticed.
Terry went ahead and made a model, and so she wasn't here to see it in action, but she does have a new model. All right, so let's move on to world map. Cool. This is the long loading map, so a second.
Oh, yes. What I was thinking about, Jack, is we need to get a remember the vampire back in Barovia underneath the church? If we have to head back to Sar Pools to look for the one guy there, we should pick up a scroll of was it greater restoration for the vampirism course?
I mean, it would be so bad to be a vampire. I mean, the whole immortality thing goes not too bad to me. But yeah, sure, we should probably do that.
Yeah, it was greater restoration that restored him, right, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The greater restoration spell could do that as long as he is not too far gone. If he has indulged his vampiric nature, then it may not be able to restore him.
Gotcha. Boy, oh boy, I hope we don't spend some money for nothing.
Yeah, I get the feeling that's what's about to happen.
Let's have faith. Just means we go to Sar Pools afterwards.
Is a scroll of greater resurrection a waste of money though? Because I'm sorry, greater restoration. Waste of money though, because I'm sure you can use it for something else at some.
Yeah.
Yeah. About that.
If that isn't some foreshadowing.
No, I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, there's only two of us, though.
There are things that I have to keep active track of, like things that happen to keep things. The flow of time does evolve. It does change some outcomes on certain things, but that is not a hint that it'll be a waste of money. Saying that if something did occur that caused it to not be necessary on that, it's not like you wasted your.
I'll cast it on Alex once he gets bit by a werewolf, or on Jack. Sorry. Obviously joking, because I know you're looking for that lycanthropy.
I am. It's just like every time I try to hey guys, maybe we should do this. It could be cool. then something like, "Oh hey, new side
Do
quest
with the
and
party
time
icon?
limit," and I'm just like, "Fuck."
I do with the party icon. That's okay. Okay, so you make your way out of the winery, riding on the cart at a pretty decent pace. The road has kind of got the ruts that they've been using to make it through there, so it's kind of already set on kind of a path as you head on back towards the main road that's going to lead you back to Krezk. You just need to roll some encounter possibilities here.
Have any enemies made of wood?
Could be.
Mm,
Running into any more blights? This area's it's got druids and stuff running around that. You know that, so.
Very good point. Cast fireball in the forest.
Right, so
Well,
the
nice
first
thing
link.
is,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, nice thing is the Gulthias staff. Blights won't attack us.
All right, so you make it the first link to the journey, as you don't see any sights of any animals or anything like that, or any potential threats. In fact, it's extremely quiet out there. So if there is anything out there, they're definitely keeping to themselves.
Fireball drive them out.
Right.
That's not what the fireball jokes.
Yeah, so you guys started the day about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's always hard to tell the exact time because the sky is always being covered in kind of a thick cloud cover. But you're guessing by the time you make it up to the road that you're now at about noon. When you make it up to the main road again and the bridge that will head across west towards Krezk. So you make your way across the bridge and continue on through the forest heading towards Krezk. The boys regale you with stories of making wine and wine creating techniques and stuff. If you ever seen the shrimp scene in Forrest Gump, they're doing that with wine and grapes and stuff.
Oh God, that's good.
I have to look this up.
Oh, you've never seen Forrest Gump? Okay.
I've seen it. I just don't remember the scene.
Well, it's where it's like Bubba's always talking about shrimp scampi, shrimp, the things you can make with shrimp.
Yeah.
They're talking about that with
I
wine.
love that scene. That's fantastic. I love that.
So just as you're about to be bored to tears, you finally see Krezk roll into sight. Krezk?
Made it successfully.
Yep, no counters. So
Yeah, finally.
Time to see what side quest the Abbey holds.
No more side quests. Or my own side quest.
Campaigns are full of side quests. What are you talking about?
What? A D&D module? Get out of here.
It's kind of nice that there's like good hooks to go from one end of the map to the other.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
It's quite fun.
Oh yeah, this one has some of the best of those kind of things, reasons to send you across the map, and not just kind of aimless wandering that I've seen in some other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Nice. The little one is kind of acting up there, so if you are picking it up on the mic, just let me know and I'll.
Oh no, I
I
haven't heard him. You're good.
Okay, perfect.
Me either.
She's not wanting to take the pacifier right now, so.
Nope, it's all good.
Perfect.
All right. Loading. Yeah, so you are rolling your way back up to the gatehouse, and you'll see that as soon as it loads, and the guards you can see are already kind of clambering to get the doors open as they see that familiar cart with the wine barrels in it, and the two boys leading that charge up there. And so they don't even bother to ask your business. They already know what you're there for. So you're making your way up.
I like this welcoming.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way up. The cart kind of comes through the gate. The gate is already open by the time you guys get there. You all kind of hop down and kind of walk through the gate as the cart rolls through. The guards, you can see the guards kind of lingering on the cart. Just kind of their eyes are just glossed over with like this look of expectation. You can see them kind of licking their lips. Looks like they may have been waiting for this wine for a while. In a small town like this, probably their only outlet is the drinking. So, yeah. So as you pass through, they immediately close the doors. And as you're kind of making your way into the center of the town where they're going to drop off the wine, you can also see that the burgomaster that you had talked to previously comes running out of his house. So the burgomaster comes out, comes like, he's kind of like got his hands wide. Oh, you're delivered! I can't believe it. It's so good to see you, boys. He kind of makes kind of like a shakes hands with the boys as they kind of drop. They pulls up next to this what looks like a tavern, and they kind of hop down from the cart and start shaking hands with the burgomaster. And he's like, starts asking them how their father is and doing a whole bunch of small talk with them. And then after they kind of like get done talking, he makes his way over to you and says, I can't thank you enough. You've definitely fulfilled your side of the bargain. You are free and welcome to come and go from Kresik as you like. Our town doesn't hold much, but whatever we can help you with, you are more than welcome to ask us for it. What did bring you to Kresik, by the way?
We're hoping to be directed towards the Abbey. We're trying to secure safekeeping for one of our compatriots here.
You see his eyebrows kind of raise a little bit. The Abbey? I see. So you are wanting to talk to the Abbot?
Absolutely.
Well, I wish you luck on that. The Abbot hasn't been seen for some time. He makes his way down periodically, but we haven't seen him in almost a year now. Not sure what he's doing up there, but I can tell you this, there are definite sounds of screams and stuff going on up there. But periodically at night, I hear these loud screams of not humanoid, but something is up there. And we've had a bit of suspicious digging of graves, a little bit of grave robbing. I'm not saying it's connected, but wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Don't see anyone else in town stealing people's bones.
It's saddening news that the Abbey isn't, or that the Abbot isn't up to his normal business. Hopefully, nothing's wrong here.
Yes, well, I hope so too. But feel free to go up there if you like. You can need to take that winding path. You look at the Abbey is kind of sitting up on top of a kind of a hill. He says, take that winding path which winds up the Abbey up to the the things. Just take it up there and let the abbot know if you do see him that we would be willing to see him again. My son is very sick, on the verge of death. I'm afraid that he may not make it, and would appreciate the abbot's help. Go up there myself, but don't know if I want to, considering what I've heard up there.
That
But,
sounds like just our specialty.
You guys look sturdy enough to do so.
Absolutely. We'll definitely let you know if we are able to help your son as well in the course of things.
I would very much appreciate that. Thank you, gentlemen.
I just like whispered to Bella, like, if he's so concerned about his dying son, he should go himself. Kind of father doesn't help their own son, but whatever.
I can't fault the logic.
I mean, if it's somebody else's son, I can't either. Since it's his own son, I kind of can.
You've noticed, putting all things together, you've noticed something particular about the people of Barovia. Some people seem to respond with normal emotions and kind of empathy that you would expect from caring individuals, and others seem to be emotionless in a lot of regards. They don't seem to feel appropriate empathy for others or sympathy, and you don't think it's necessarily because anything is because of the nature of the land they're in or anything. Something else seems to be a deeper issue there.
Now, which category did we get the sense this guy fell
This
into?
guy was in the second category.
Okay.
Bro, I noticed I have more emotions than most people here, and I'm dead, so I'm not sure how that works.
So the burgomaster goes back to assisting the boys with taking the wine down. Definitely doesn't go back to check on his son like you would expect him to, but he goes over to help the boys down, and he pulls a couple guards off duty to go help as well. Yeah. The rest of the town has a few people out and about, but because of the cold, kind of like it's starting to like kind of snow in this area, and a little bit of cold kind of comes down from the mountain. You don't see a whole lot of people out right now. There's some people out chopping wood and stuff, but for the most part, this just seems to be kind of a sleepy, small little village, protected by that big round wall, or big wall around it, with the abbey kind of looming over it in the distance there. What do you want to do? Do you want to explore more of the town, or do you want to head up to the abbey?
Oh man, I don't know about you, Jack, but I really want to get to that abbey.
That's fine by me.
Okay.
I'd like to see what we can do for Irina here.
Like a stork, drop the baby off, just leave her at the doorstep and bounce.
I have a feeling it's not going to be that easy.
So the road from the village climbs above the mist to the wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot high, 3-foot thick wall of jumbled stones held together with some mortar. Blocking the road and iron gates attach the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its two wings are joined by a 15-foot high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the roof of the north wing, which also sports a chimney bellowing gray smoke.
Well, it is a good sign that somebody's there with the smoke.
Mm-hmm. So that's the two kind of outhouse-like things that are kind of part of this wall. This wall is just kind of made of cobbled stones. It's not nearly as neat looking as what I've got here. I just couldn't find a proper cobbled wall. But the gate doesn't appear to be unlocked, the iron gate.
Well, let's test that. See if it opens.
Okay. All right, who's gonna open, and who's kind of leading the party into this area?
That's ominous.
Well, I mean, anytime you go in an area that is potentially dangerous, I got to know that.
Yeah. Well, I think Yeah, Stumbleduck leads.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have Pigwin in the back, followed by Irina, followed by Jack, followed by me and Grimness.
Okay, sounds good.
Whoever has the most AC goes first. That's my
All
rule.
right.
Yeah.
So Stumbleduck opens the door and starts walking inside. As soon as the doors open, you hear some rummaging kind of sound from the two little houses over here, and two creatures that you're not really familiar with. And I've got a better version of these. I should place them.
Fireball.
Yeah, they're not. They don't look hostile, but two very unique-looking creatures come out of the sides of this. The first looks kind of like he's about a little under 5 feet tall, and he squats instead of standing exactly upright. He looks like a beardless dwarf with patches of donkey flesh covering his face and body. He has one human ear and one wolf's ear, and a protruding wolf snout and fangs. His arms and hands are human, but his legs and feet are kind of like cat-like, and he has a donkey's tail. The second one is kind of covered up, but what you can make out from her, she's about 4 feet, a little under 5 feet tall. Left side of her face and body is covered with a lizard scales, and the right with tufts of gray wolf fur. Between these tufts is a kind of a pale human skin. One of her eyes is that of a feline, and her fingers and hands resemble cat paws with opposable thumbs. She has a gruff voice as she speaks. What are you doing here? Who are you?
I mean, are these guys reborns?
Reborns? No, they're Bellevues.
Can I do an Arcana to get an idea of what that is?
What the hell's a Bellevue?
Oh, that's a family name. We're all Bellevues. This is Otto Bellevue. I am Siegfried Bellevue.
Okay, I'll give up then. I don't get any more of that.
And
I
are
must
you
ask again, what are you doing here?
We're hoping to have a meeting with the Abbot.
And you see the one that looks more like a donkey. The Abbot, they say. Did you hear that, Siegfried? They want to see the Abbot. Do we know an Abbot? Yes, Otto, we do know an Abbot. He's the one that leads us. Oh, that's an Abbot. Okay. Yes. Yes, you can see the Abbot.
Excellent. That is great. We'd
First,
love to see the Abbot.
Insight.
But
I think he's lying, leading us into a trap. Insight check.
do a next insight check.
I'm trying to. Okay, here it is. Never find anything. 14.
No, he is definitely seems to be a bit too slow to properly be deceitful. I mean, it doesn't seem to be a performance. He definitely seems to be a bit slow, so he probably would notice if he's trying to deceive you.
Can I ask one other question? Are we able to do an Arcana or History check or some type of check
Yeah,
to get an idea
absolutely.
of what kind of creatures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a history check. Arcana is not going to do you any good here, so history check.
Okay.
History. 7.
I got a 20.
So the name Bellevue doesn't ring any bells to you, but the kind of creature they are seems to be an amalgamation known as a Mongrel Folk. Sometimes this happens when people attempt to different magical effects can cause this. So maybe some people have been known to create Mongrel Folk because they're trying to cure some disease, and the only way they can do that is kind of by distorting some magic, and they end up causing animalistic features to appear on people. So these don't seem to be any type of monsters, just people who are afflicted with this kind of weird amalgamation of animalistic body parts.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
So Otto kind of turns to, shall we take him to the Abbot then? And Siegfried says, I think the Abbot would not like it if they came in armed. Do you mind if you put your weapons here in the guardhouse? And she kind of points to the house over here.
Uh,
I can't exactly put my magic in a box.
I wonder if we could persuade them.
I mean, it'd be pretty pointless because I can just burn this place down by moving my fingers.
So, dead guy, out of character. You don't necessarily want to go around advertising that you know magic. If the creatures don't, or the people you're talking to don't know that you know magic, you don't want to really give that away.
Okay.
But
yeah, can we try a persuasion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. All right. Okay, 13. I don't know if Jack has better convincing skills than I do.
I want to see what's higher, my intimidation or no? It's my persuasion. Okay.
So, what are you saying to them while it's persuasion?
11.
Yeah, I was thinking. You know, we're these are just our tools of the trade, nothing more. You know, we're but a group of people hoping to protect ourselves on the way here. We clearly mean you no harm.
Me keepy, no hurty.
Okay, so Jack, your particular persuasion was definitely not good enough for an 11 to work.
Yeah,
but the other one might.
That's why I said all dumb, like, so I can match the number.
Well, yeah. So I was going to say, you know, if you did a good job, like with persuasive, whatever you're saying was, 11 might have worked. But yeah, that's not going to help. But they are going to do an intelligence check to see if, or insight check on you, but they don't have good intelligence. So let's see, as was clear from Otto.
Come on, big money.
Are they trying to figure out our alignment or something?
So Otto's like, sure, I get it. You know, tools. See, I have this shovel that I use to dig graves with, see? And then they have whatever they're using to do... What profession do you do?
Adventuring.
See, they do... Wait, what's adventuring?
We go around solving people's problems, really.
Really? Oh, you mean like the Abbot. The Abbot does that too. Oh, that's awesome. We need more people like the Abbot. See, these people are good. Siegfried, stop worrying about them. These are good people.
Yeah.
And so, Otto kind of like grabs a hold of Siegfried's arm and starts pulling her. Come on, Siegfried. We gotta go tell the Abbot, and we'll escort these nice folks over there.
All right.
So he starts taking you. I'm gonna just use Stumbleduck for now, so I don't have to move everybody all at once. But you guys are all with him. So that guy shouldn't be. That's my marker I use to make everything into scale. Okay, so as you kind of approach the gate, you kind of get to an open gate. You notice that there are kind of figures, what look like from a distance, figures up on the rafters, or up on these ledges. But as you get closer, you realize that they are not actual people. They're just like someone has taken some scarecrows and kind of like and put them in little bits of armor to kind of make them look like there's guards standing up on top of these these rafters up here to kind of look out over the castle. So anyone down in town might see them as people up there, but they're not actual people. And so
weird.
Yeah. So when you open the gate, or when they open the gate as you go in, you are moved into a courtyard. Thick fog that fills this courtyard swirls as if eager to escape. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot high curtain wall on which stand several guards, which the guards we'd already explained to you. Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the abbey's two wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch, to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded in the rocky earth have iron rings bolted into them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles. The quiet is shattered by a horrible screams coming from the sheds. So they open up the doors and walk in, and they acted just like everything's normal. But here's the guy that's or the humanoid looking thing that has the bat wings tied to a post, screeching at you. You also see all these are the doors where you can hear the whatever's inside them banging and screeching against the doors. These tiny little sheds that are kind of tucked under this walkway. Here's the main door to the east wing or the north wing, and then the west wing over here, or north wing and west wing over here.
I want to take a minute and abuse Otto here, abuse his low intelligence. So I want to try to convince him to tell me what's going on. Otto, we're hearing the screams here. The town folk told us these are new. Are you able to tell me what's going on here?
Oh, that's just the Bellevues that we had to lock away. You see, every once in a while, the Bellevues this, and he kind of looks at he looks at himself a little bit, kind of showing you like his like deformed kind of looks on his donkey hands and all that stuff, and he's like, you see, the Bellevues, we were kind of transformed to look like this, but it was the help of the Abbot trying to cure a disease that we all had, and it had unfortunate side effects, you see. But one of those side effects is that we eventually go totally insane, animal instincts and all that. So we have to tie him up, anybody that's done that, or put him in the sheds until the Abbot can work some sort of way to fix us, essentially.
I see. Is this a recent occurrence then? The screaming and whatnot?
Oh no. I mean, probably just enough of us here that it kind of is echoing around a bit. But this has been going on for a while. In fact, there's just a couple of us left that still have all of our sanity. You know. He kind of points over there at the one. That gent over there, see, he just recently lost his mind fully. We had to tie him to a stake because he was starting to go and couldn't control himself, and he just finally went all the way. And so we're gonna have to put him in the shed when one of those frees up. But we don't have any open ones at the moment.
Well, I thank you for your information, Otto.
Oh, sure. And Siegfried, the entire time, Siegfried is just giving him a death stare, like you shouldn't be telling these outsiders that. He just seems to be completely oblivious to her stares, though.
Love it.
Oh, wait, unhear something.
Anyways, from there, you guys, they are being led. He's like, come on, this way to see the Abbot. And he kind of goes, come on, Siegfried, and grabs her again. What you doing just standing there glowering? What's to be glowering about? And he just kind of keeps moving her towards the door.
I'm going to give him an enthusiastic, good job, Otto. Thank you so much.
So he moves to the door and opens it up. And inside, you see the following. A gentle-sounding music trickles down from the second floor, played on a single-stringed instrument by some unseen master. The ground floor is one large, 50-foot square room with arched, leaded glass windows. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above the fire in a hearth, while above the fireplace mantel hangs a golden disc engraved with a symbol of the sun. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs the upper level, while in another, a corner stone staircase descends into darkness. Several chairs around a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and gold candelabras are neatly arranged on the table, standing behind which is a young woman with alabaster white skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her soft shoulders. She seems to be lost in her own thoughts.
Question?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize there was more. No,
yeah.
Okay, sorry about
Across from her, you see a handsome young man in a brown monk's robe gently taking the woman by her hand. A painted wooden holy symbol that depicts the sun hangs from a chain around his neck. He moves with the grace of a saint. You see this guy, and I need to pull the Abbot out. I don't know for some reason.
I'm assuming the symbol over the fireplace is the same that we saw in the original temple in Barovia?
Yes, you immediately recognize it as the Morning Lord symbol.
Okay.
Oops. Yeah, he's just kind of like helping this girl do stuff. She's trying to. He's got like a bunch of plates and stuff and food in front of her, and it looks like he's attempting to teach her etiquette of how to use certain like utensils and stuff like that. And she is looking very clumsily at stuff. Seems to be kind of like drifting off in thought as she does so. And then as you kind of enter, Otto and Siegfried are just making way too much noise to not be noticed coming in. And so they kind of bang to the doors, and you can kind of see after a second the Abbot kind of looks up and he kind of like looks at all over you guys, and he then goes back to her and says, "That's okay, Vasilika. We will come back to this in just a moment." And he turns and walks around the table and starts approaching you. "Well, hello, friends. What brings you here?"
Hello, we've heard great tales about your expertise as a religious man, and we've heard tales that if people are in need of help, you're one to be doing so.
Indeed, I am the abbot of this fine abbey and of this that sits above this small town of Kresik. I had a feeling that some adventurers might be arriving soon. I heard whispers on the wind that you had entered Barovia. I wondered when you might be approaching my place. Let's see. Let me see if I can remember what the wind has said to me. Ah, yes. I believe you, sir, are... Yes. You, sir, are Grimness. Or, sorry, I almost forgot Grimness's name. And Bearlack. And Pigwin. And Stumbleduck. And he stares at Dead Guy for a minute. You, I'm not sure who you are. Though...
Yeah, neither am I, pal.
Though I know that your friends refer to you as Dead Guy. I wish I had something more to call you on that, but there's something I can't quite see it, but it's almost like you are not fully here. I know what it is, yes. You are one that has come back from somewhere, from beyond. Yes. Yes, your memories will come back in time, and as you exist more on this plane, your old life will come back to you. But what was lost when you died and went on to the astral plane, it will come back to you. Yes, and I also know why you're here.
Excellent.
You are bringing one named Irina to me. I see her there. Hi there. And he kind of like waves at her. Well, I can provide her some space here from Strahd. Strahd is not a threat to this abbey. He dares not come in here. The Morning Lord's power is too strong in here, and with me.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Actually works somewhere. That's crazy.
I'm so glad to hear that. What's the abbot's name again?
What was what?
What's the abbot's name again?
So he doesn't have a name.
Oh, okay.
They just call me the Abbot. My true name is not, unfortunately, able to be spoken here.
Well, in any case, I'm glad that you're able to provide sanctuary for Irina. It's been quite the journey for such.
Yes, Strahd won't.
That's God doing his job.
Yes, she'll be safe here, and Strahd's infatuation with her will soon be over. I'm taking care of that myself. And he turns to go back over to the woman who is now kind of like she's trying to pick up the plate and kind of it's fallen onto the ground and like clatters everywhere as she's like staring at her fingers as though this is the first time she's ever seen hands before.
Huh. Uh, is there any role I can do? Does she share any similarities to Dead Guy? I'm just thinking about the pale skin.
Yeah, so do a just a perception check for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, 10. Not great.
Well, I have a 13.
Yeah, Dead Guy, you actually roll a advantage on your perception check, by the way.
Nice, thank you. It's
Mhm.
probably lower though. Okay, that is 12.
So even with a 13, you can barely make him out because he has done such a good job on kind of doing it. But you can tell that her arms and stuff and her head all have little stitch lines around certain areas. So you can tell a little bit too that some of their body parts don't exactly match up 100%. Some of the skin color is different. The sizes are just a little bit off. He's done a really good job of matching body parts as best he can, but you can definitely tell that she has been stitched together of multiple bodies.
Huh. Oh, I'm not getting a
Not
good
sure
feeling
it's
this place.
worth living.
What's that?
I'm not sure it's worth being alive like that.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, I don't feel good too. I don't feel great about this place either. I think I'm ready to cast fireball far, far away from here. Very far.
Don't
I mean,
open
shoot
up with
my
the
crossbow.
fireball. Don't open up the
Across
fireball.
space.
So
uh,
just to throw it out there, since you've entered into the abbot's presence, each of you can feel an aura of power about him. Like you can sense there is power hidden deep beneath him, even though he looks very unassuming. You sense a power there.
okay. Okay. Um,
Okay.
Mr. Abbott, considering it was our sworn duty to bring Irina to safety, do you mind if we complete our job and just take a look around the place? Just to make sure that we can rest comfortably and report to the burgomaster of Barovia that all is well.
Ah, yes, all is well. That fakeness of the Villaki that
Oh
the
yeah, very fake.
poor burgomaster there puts upon his people. The people must suffer under that. All is well bullshit. Yes.
Very, very true.
Well, I would say yes, and I have nothing to hide, so I can tell you this right away. As you may have guessed, and by the way, Otto and Siegfried, you may return to your duties. I will take things from here. And so Otto's like, okay, Abbott, we'll be on our way then. And he kind of looks over at Siegfried, who Siegfried looks like she's about to ask something, but he just kind of grabs her arm. There's no time for questions, Siegfried. The Abbott said we can go back to our post, and that's what we're going to do. And so he grabs hold of her and starts dragging her out back to the post.
Mhm.
And as soon as they leave, then the Abbot kind of turns and says, as you may have noticed, the Bellevues, please, and he kind of like offers you a seat at the table. This story might take a moment, so feel free to make yourself comfortable.
Absolutely.
Dumbleduck's already making his way over and kind of taking a seat, and he's purposefully kind of scooted up to the front of the seat so that he can put his tiny legs up on the table. And the Abbot kind of like looks down and like is a little bit upset by that, but doesn't say anything. Yes, so let me just tell you a little history of this place. I came here about 100 years ago, sent on my mission by the Morning Lord to do what I could to help rid this land of Strahd's influence and save the souls that are trapped here. You may have noticed that this land doesn't behave like the normal realms, but it is trapped because of Strahd's curse. All the souls that are in here are trapped by the mists that keep them in. But so no souls can get out, and no new souls can get in, unless they're brought in like yourselves. But that does present a problem, you see, as the population continues to grow. No new souls are entering. I think you can see where that comes into play. Some people are born with souls, and some are not. You may have noticed that some of the people here don't act like others. These are the ones that are no souls, and it is said that the people are aware of this predicament as well. They are easy to kind of determine, or they have come up with a way that they believe is the adequate determination of if one is born with a soul or not. If the baby cries at birth, it has a soul. If it does not, it is a soulless. But all are treated equally, anyways. The soul thing is not that huge of an issue. But other things have happened here too. Since this land was cursed, this abbey was once run by a family named the Bellevues, you see. And because of this trapping of souls, even though the Bellevues continued to populate, this whole area itself, without being in contact fully with the Morning Lord, suffered another kind of curse. The Bellevues inside began to wither and die. When I started to I approached 100 years ago, I found myself on the outskirts of Kresik, and I immediately came to this abbey to see if I could get it underway again as a beacon for the people. And I found the Bellevues here, and they needed my assistance. So I attempted to use the Morning Lord's healing on them, but didn't quite go the way I wanted. I had underestimated the power of the curse of this land, and, well, you see in the result on the Bellevues. It did stop them from dying. It did not exactly make them better. They started to grow more and more animalistic characteristics with each new generation, and this last generation has started to go insane, almost beast-like. I have yet to determine exactly how to help them on this one, though I am still working on it. That being said, that is why I cannot necessarily permit you to wander the grounds. It's not because I have anything to hide, but because the grounds much of the grounds is being home to these more feral Bellevues, and I don't want you loosing them or getting yourselves hurt.
Can we do an insight to see if he's being, sincere in that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm rolling terrible. Jack, you're gonna join me in this?
Hold on. Hang on one second. My thing's low. Oh my god, bro. Let me give it a shot. Jesus.
Yeah, 9.
Insight. Where's my insight? Here it is. Oh yeah, 23.
Nice. Was that a nat 20?
Yeah. Or no, it's 19.
Yeah. He seems to be 100%, at least he believes what he's saying is 100% true. Like, he's not trying to do any deception. Whether or not it's true, that's to be debated, I suppose, but this is what he is telling you, and he believes it 100%. Some of the things, he says he's 100 years old, but he looks like he's in his early 20s, although you do sense a faint power aura around him. Yeah, it's just some of the things don't quite add up, but again, he doesn't seem to be lying to you.
Okay. Trying to think how to make sense of that. Was he done with his story? I think he was.
Yeah, because you'd asked the question of can you explore the grounds, and he was trying to get to the reason why you couldn't explore the grounds. And as he finishes up his story, you see Vasilika once again trying to pick up stuff off the floor and kind of help because he's picking up things while he's telling you this. And she reaches down to grab something, but she's totally unaware of where her head is, and so she slams her face into the table as she reaches down to grab something. And you see the abbot kind of grab her shoulder and gently pull her back up straight and kind of look over her face to see if she's bruised at all. Oh, Vasilica, please, my dear, stay here and just sit up straight. I appreciate the help, but you do not need to do that. A proper woman such as yourself does not pick up these things. Let the servants do that.
I have a couple questions for you, Abbot, if you wouldn't mind. In our journey here to rid the land of Strahd, we've accumulated quite the number of questions.
Indeed, I will answer as many as I can.
Excellent. Um, so I had a few here. We had our cards read by Madame Eva, and there was a mention of a treasure in a dragon's house. Uh,
Yes.
would you have any leads on this?
Yes, there is one place that I can think of, a dragon's house. That would be Argenvostholt. It's just to the southwest of Kresik. If you are to take the road south of Kresik towards the ruins of Berez, you will see the house up on a hill, and you would be walking through an area where a battle once was. You see, when Strahd first came here, he came here as a human and was attempting to conquer this land and make it his own. But at that time, there was a company of knights that lived in Argenvostholt. It is rumored that one of them was a silver dragon, and in truth, and you see, metallic dragons are able to change shape, and they can appear humanoid at will. And so it is said that the leader of Argenvostholt was a silver dragon, and he would not let Strahd enslave or conquer this land. So he put up a fight against Strahd, but he ended up losing his head in that battle. The poor silver dragon. Argenvostholt has remained vacated since then, and dilapidation has kind of come into that. I sense though that there may still be a presence there, but how much of a presence I am not quite sure. But if you are needing the house of a dragon, that would be my guess.
Thank you.
Did he
what,
just quit?
What's that?
Are all the knights dead, or did they just like quit?
All the mics?
Knights.
Oh no, the knights. No, all of them were slain by Strahd.
Damn, that sucks.
I just want to ask to correlate to the map that we got. The he's referring to that tower-looking thing to the east of Kresik, is he?
So let me go back to the tower thing, and I can tell you that. So if you're looking at the map, so if you go south and a little bit south of Vallaki and then left, you will see what looks like kind of a mansion there. Yeah, the ruins of Berez is a village that's south of that. You can see the ruins on the map as well.
Okay.
Well, thankfully, I speak Draconic.
Yeah, that will be helpful. We also had a telling of a dead village drowned by a river. Is this referring to? I'll point on the map where the ruins are, just because they're close to a river, south of Argenvostholt.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Yes, that would most likely be the village of Berez. Berez was destroyed by Strahd a few centuries ago. The details of which I'm not entirely 100% sure on, but it seems that he had suspected or had found a woman of desire there, much like he has fallen for Arena, and he was not too happy when they denied him his prize, so he destroyed the village. The remains of that village were kind of swallowed up by the river and are now kind of a swampy area that is kind of half land, half water. That's kind of like engulfed that poor old ruins of that city.
Okay, thank you very much for this information.
I would be careful though. I have a sense of a great power there, a witch that lives in those ruins.
I appreciate the warning, very much do. I asked him if he was here when the wizard fought the battle with Strahd at Castle Ravenloft.
I was not here, but I have heard of this from the people. There was a wizard who fought that Strahd, and Strahd came out on top. The wizard's body was never found, though I have heard rumors of a wizard kind of making his way around Lake Zarovich up near the mountain area up there. There's been sightings of him. You're kind of, if you got the map out, he kind of comes over and kind of points out the area. And so looking at the map, you see Lake Zarovich. North of Lake Zarovich, there's the mountains here. They have seen sights of him here periodically. And if he is still alive, that's most likely where you would find him, in the mountains.
And I love this guy. He's like super helpful. Writing this down. Okay.
They're a refreshing change of pace.
While he's away and has walked over to you, you hear a big thud as it seems that Vasilika has leaned too far back in her chair and she has fallen to the ground back there. And he comes rushing back over to help her up, put her back in the chair.
Oh boy. I have two more questions for you, Abbot. Would you happen to be able to procure us a scroll of greater restoration, and what we may be able to pay you for this?
I could create such a scroll within a week's time if I sought at it today. I do not think that I would require payments, at least not in the sense of money, although I could use help with some projects, if you don't mind.
And what might those projects be?
Well, you see Vasilika here. She needs a wedding dress, and she doesn't have anything in this town that we can use. She needs a proper bridal gown. I do think that perhaps the burgomaster's wife would be able to help with this. The burgomaster of Kresik, that is. He was once a successful dressmaker and sold her dresses to Valaki, but she hasn't done so in a while. But you may be able to convince her to make a dress here for Vasilika.
Okay. I'm going to suspect that they'll want something in return, and I happen to have heard that their son has come down sick. Is this something that you could look into if we brought the son to you?
Very possibly. Very possibly. Did they say what his particular issue was?
Not as such. We were in too great a hurry to bring Irina to safekeeping, but we can certainly, get some more headway on this.
Absolutely.
I just have a feeling that for this wedding dress, we'll need, to do a favor in return.
Typically, that is the way of things. A favor for a favor.
Absolutely, the adventuring life. I do have a question about Vasilika's state, however.
Vasilika, yes. What about her?
I can't help but notice the stitches. That's a very unique state of being.
You see him get confused, and then he goes and looks over and kind of running his hand over. Oh, my dear, you've noticed the stitches. I thought I did a good enough job that they wouldn't be noticed. Oh, darn. I will have to do some mending of skin here. Make sure that gets covered up. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes, Vasilika here is my answer. Answer to the curse of Strahd, to relieve him of his issue that is keeping this place cursed.
So Vasilika is getting ready for a marriage to Strahd, is she? I presume?
Why, yes, you're quite well at your deductions. You see, living here 100 years, hearing all of the tales and of all of the things that Strahd seems to have motivated him, I would say that I have come to the conclusion that once Strahd finds true love, he will be able to break free of his curse. You see, Strahd was cursed by the fact that he could not have love with Tatiana, his former brother's wife, fiance, and who flung herself from the castle, and her body was never found. Uh, I believe that the answer to Strahd's curse, to his pain, is to have a wife that he will love him adoringly.
And okay, I'm not talking in character right now, but part of me is really worried about leaving Irina with this guy. Like, oh boy, I don't know about you, Jack, but you know, the stitched together creature we're dropping off, person of Strahd's affection. Like, I don't know,
Sorry,
man.
I didn't mean to ignore you. I'm just like, I had like a theory in my brain. I'm just like trying to like rationalize. But
Sure.
hey, Abbott, what was this chick, this woman, Strahd liked before Irina? What was her name again?
Tatiana.
Tatiana. How long ago was this, or when she died?
About 1,000 years ago.
1,000 years ago. Okay, and what does she look like?
Well,
You know, by
now
chance?
that you mention it, the descriptions of her that I have heard looks much like your young friend here, Irina.
Holy fuck! Holy shit! Oh my god!
You're saying this in
Ain't no
character?
way. Ain't no way that's true. Hold up. No way. What? Hold up. Yeah, that's. Oh my god. I think I just put two and two together. Holy shit. Ain't no fucking way. That's. I don't know if what I'm thinking is correct, but if it is, it's like a mind fuck. Oh my
What are you
god.
thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah, and is all this in
Ah,
character, or are you doing this out of character? Because,
both. I'm doing it both.
okay.
I'm doing them both. Holy
I'm just looking at dead guy like, what's going on here?
All right. I could be wrong, but Abbott was explaining earlier how some people are like getting souls, right? Because the souls from the dead linger around here because they can't escape, correct?
That's correct.
What if, now this is a pretty big what if, and it might sound crazy, but what if Irina has Tatiana's soul?
And you're saying this out loud?
Yes,
Okay.
because
So the abbot kind of looks at Irina, and then he contemplates that. Why, yes, that might actually be the case. Now that I think about it,
holy fuck,
Strahd's
Irina!
transformation happened at nearly the exact moment that Irina's died, and so at the moment of Strahd's transformation is when this land became sealed. So at that point on, any souls attempting to leave would be stuck here. Those souls
So,
eventually do get reincarnated.
so
There's a possibility.
if a soul gets reincarnated, is it possible for the new body to look kind of similar to the old body?
You see him kind of making his way around to kind of examine Irina. He's like, "Come here, girl," and he kind of comes up to her, and he's kind of see her. He's kind of like doing this examination of her, grabbing hold of her cheek, kind of moving her around. Why, yes, I can see past the skin and flesh here. There is a soul in here that is very old.
Holy shit!
Yes. This
All
opens
the
a new
pieces just fell
revelation.
together at once.
Does this change your plans at all?
Holy shit, Irina! No wonder Strahd obsessed with you. It's because you used to be.
You see him.
Irina.
You see
Oh
him
my
kind of
God.
like let go of her and back away, and kind of make his way back over to Basilica. This would be a bit of a game changer.
God damn! My mind is just blown right now. That's such good writing. Holy shit!
I'm conflicted. I have put much
Oh
effort
my!
into Vasilica in order to make her a bride for Strahd, but if we have the thing that Strahd desires most, would that be an answer to this curse? By
I seriously
presenting
doubt
him
true
to
love can
her.
break a curse.
Hmm.
I would um,
Holy
hedge
shit!
it. I would hedge a bet here that that would not work, dear Abbot. See,
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Irina has no interest in this, and I suspect that this
Yeah,
cycle would
you
simply
see her
repeat
already. You
itself.
see her already start to kind of like, recoil in horror at the thought. But the abbot is just sitting there, kind of rubbing his chin, contemplating in thought.
Oh, I don't like this.
But it did
Holy
work, and
fuck!
the curse was broken. Wouldn't that be worth the risk?
I
One life for all of the lives here.
that's awfully utilitarian of you.
And besides, Strahd fell in love with Tatiana, or how you pronounce her name? I don't know why I keep fucking that up. Tatiana.
Tatiana, yeah. Mhm.
I mean, Strahd fell in love with Tatiana, and he was still a vampire. So I'm just gonna throw that theory out the window.
I turned to
Yes.
Irina. Oh, sorry, go for it.
But if Tatiana's soul is inside Arena, then at some point, if they are reconnected, those memories may come back.
I put my foot in my mouth, didn't I? Shit.
I don't think we have a safe place for Tatiana anymore.
Yeah,
For
you
Irina,
heard me for
sorry.
calling her that.
I'm trying my best here to convince him away from this line of thought. So I simply say, I turn to Irina and I say, Irina, what would you do if you were presented to Strahd? Would you
Kill
go
him,
through
probably.
with it?
She's like, I would rather die than do that.
And would you kill
Yeah.
yourself?
I I don't know if I'd have the ability to do that, but I would rather die than be with Strahd.
Well, I guess that
He's
is our
on
answer. It's not true love.
he's only got to me before twice because he has used his abilities to charm people and bring me to his window, as you saw the other night when you guys were in my room.
Hey, do vampires like feel positive emotions, or can they do that
Can
in
feel
D and
what?
D? Can a vampire actually feel something like that? I'm unfamiliar with the vampire lore in D&D.
It's
The
pretty
way
cool.
that I
It's
read the
pretty
book,
similar to their D and D. The D&D vampire lore is pretty similar to the traditional vampire kind of stuff. All of the same kind of things work on them. Um, they can't go
Strahd
into
can't feel
houses
love.
unless they're invited in and that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, it's a possibility that he may not be. No, no, no. And he kind of like waves that away. No, it has to work. I mean, his whole desire is to be reunited with Irina, and this is the one thing he's been denied all of these years.
Pretty sure that's not love. It's what's the word I'm looking for? An obsession, a desire to dominate and control. I feel like it's very different from actual love. Because if he actually
Yes,
loved, he
but
would let her
you
go.
do not understand the nature of curses, my dear friend. So, Strahd had entered into a pact with some ancient beings in this land, and when he did the final deed that, by killing his brother, he committed himself down a path that was cursed, and he became trapped in this land, never once again. See, the curses by evil beings often come at a price, and are usually they try to deceive you into. It's kind of a catch-22 situation. He took these powers in order to be a more substantial force and to be able to essentially maybe take Arena as his own. But in doing so, she was never his love, so she killed herself. Thus, to his mind, he thought for many, many generations that he had lost her forever until now. That is it.
You know, you
He
just admitted,
senses her
right?
spirit too. I
I want to
wonder.
do. Oh, sorry.
You
I
literally just
wonder.
admitted that you didn't love her like 3 seconds ago.
I wonder if that is what the cause of this village of Berez destruction was. Perhaps she had gotten reincarnated once there, and he was denied her then, and he destroyed the village. That would make sense.
I want to do a persuasion check here because I'm not liking where this is going. I want to try to
Yeah,
persuade him,
I want to do the same.
away from this line of thought. I'm
You
really
see
not
him
liking
becoming
this.
less and less uninterested in Basilica. Like, he's not even noticing when she's stumbling around now.
I only
Oh
got a
God,
14.
we're gonna get TPK'd by this guy.
Oh, because I couldn't keep my foot out my mouth. That's completely my bad.
I saw where that was going from a mile away, and I was hoping it wouldn't.
I did. I was just too mind fucked on my theory.
Can
Think about anything else.
can I try this persuasion check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, nat 20. Oh, I'll take it. 18. So,
Okay. So
yeah,
what are you going to
and
say to him?
yeah, I say, by your logic, the curse is a punishment for deeds done. And the deed done here is the killing of his brother, and the um, insatiable lust for Tatiana that led to the killing of the brother. By that line of logic, then to undo the curse is not to get what he wants by getting Tatiana, but rather I would think the solution to the curse would be to undo the killing of his brother, which cannot be done, and by finally realizing and accepting that Tatiana was never his to begin with. Unfortunately, I can't see Strahd doing that. I think this is a fool's errand.
You see the abbot
Uh,
contemplating what you're saying. Yes, your logic makes sense. And it's not as far out of reach as you may think it is, either. There are ways to bring back his brother. There's also ways to put Arena forever out of his reach, one of which exists in this very town.
and what might that be, dear Abbot?
If she is truly the soul of Tatiana, there is a pool in this town that she must go to. If she is Tatiana, she will be able to see the spirit world through this pool, and I believe she may be able to make an escape through that pool.
Okay, all right, all right, all right.
But be warned, Strahd knows of her presence here. If she leaves this place, he will be forever enraged. He may even take it as a slight against him and focus his efforts more on you. He has invited you here as his playthings. To destroy his one goal would bring down his wrath more than ever.
We're here to do good. I'm not afraid of that.
I feel like Strahd, he is the land, so he pretty much knows all the happenings, right? Like what's going on currently.
I would think
Indeed.
so by the end.
He has a sense of most things. Certain areas are outside of his scope of vision, such as this temple, which is protected by the Morning Lord, and the once Church of Saint Andrel. I know of its destruction, but once the Church of Saint Andrel was also out of his reach. But the rest he is aware of the presence of here. He's most likely been tracking you the entire time. But
I'm just saying that if he figures out where we're going, Strahd's a smart person. I feel like he would put two and two together and lay some kind of trap. I'm not sure if I don't know. I'm not sure if I trust this, to be honest. If he
I
didn't
think
know, yeah, I say all for it. But if he knows about it, then he could definitely lay some kind of trap or make one of his minions do it.
I think we should involve Irina in this decision if she wants to brave this line of thought, or if she'd rather, remain in the safety of the abbey.
True, it is her
I
choice.
I would I would be on the braver side of saying we should try this pool if the abbot thinks this is a way for her to escape.
I wouldn't want to put you
Think
all in any more danger. You've been so kind. But I would very much like to escape this place if such a thing is true or possible.
I mean, I have
Then
a
I
way.
think the decision's made.
Kill Strahd. We can do that.
Yeah, but I don't think we can do that with Irina in tow.
He's strong, right?
Very well, so that is the decision that you wish to make. I will support this endeavor and continue my plans to marry off Basilica to Strahd in case it does not, in case all of our thought processes are wrong, and my original plan was the correct one. And he goes back to kind of helping Basilica get back seated back down. Yes, there you go, Basilica. Just like a proper lady. And he sits her back down and kind of gets her back to doing her training. Yes, what we'll do is continue on with plan here with Basilica, and I've had periodic messages sent to Strahd's castle letting him know that I have something set up for him, a surprise here, and I'll continue to do so. So that way it looks like nothing new has changed here. But I do that way. You most likely will not encounter his thought process of seeing where you're going. Maybe that will help shroud your movement a little. But one place you may wish to go after dispatching young Arena here to the letting her out. You may at some point want to go to the area where Strahd made his curse, or got his curse. That area may hold indefinite answers for us.
And where would that be? The Ravenloft you're referring to?
No, that is his castle. Although answers for certain things may be found there, I've heard that he has an expansive library in that castle. No, and he points down to he kind of comes over and points to the map again, and he kind of walks over to you and kind of looks at your map. Down here, and he kind of takes his finger and traces down the road that goes south of the tower that's near the lake, just east of here. If you come to this main road here that goes down through the mountains, and it goes down to that bridges, and it go up to these mountains down here. Follow that road all the way to its end. Deep in the mountains, you will find what you're looking for: a temple to evil ones.
Hey.
Wait, how do you become a vampire?
Those answers are found in that location. That is where Strahd made his pact.
Just a pact. So, but some kind of like dark deity, maybe.
I have heard, and these are from rumors and legends, that this temple sits in these mountains was once a place ruled by good clerics who had entrapped some evil deities there. But once the curse took over, those clerics were killed, and now it is inhabited by evil that kind of looks over these evil deities still trapped there. Strahd made a pilgrimage there when he first came to this land, and that is where he made his pact with one of those entrapped deities.
Ooh, what if it's what's the other goddess? The opposite of the sun, the moon darkness goddess. Maybe it's her. What's her name?
The Night Mother?
Maybe her. Maybe.
No, the Night Mother, who they refer to as the Night Mother, she is actually not involved in this land at all, actually. Her power to influence this land was cut off whenever the curses Strahd came into effect. She has less influence here than the Morning Lord, unfortunately. And the Morning Lord is pretty weak because of Strahd's defenses of the sky.
Okay.
Hey Burley, do we have any other quests that are on a time limit right now?
We got actually quite a bit of info from this guy, in all honesty.
Yeah.
The only thing time limit ish is the and I don't know if we really even want to go that route, but the greater restoration of the vampire in Barovia, it's so out of our way. But I mean,
yeah.
we're here, we may as well get the scroll, and you know,
that's a good idea, because like he said it'd take a week for him to make it. So while he's making it, we can just do all this other stuff and come back.
yeah, I suspect we won't make it in time, but yeah, that's kind of my thought as well. I mean, there's no reason not to get the greater restoration. I am quite exhausted of what I'm gonna ask the abbot, unless you have anything else, Jack.
Um. So if you go this dark temple, you would. Strahd made a pact with one of these deities. You said there's like multiple deities. I know you said clerics captured them. Are these deities like? I know obviously gods are powerful, but like, are they not as powerful as like a normal god? I'm not sure if I phrased that right, but you know what I mean.
I completely understand what you mean. It would seem outrageous for mere mortals to keep in a god such like at power levels of like the Morning Lord. No, these
I know,
are
right?
sub deities, ones that are somewhere between demigods and deities that could be
Okay.
captured like this. They are sub deities, I suppose you could call them.
And they have the power to transform you into a vampire.
Oh, I'm sure they have the power to do many more things than that, but everything that you ask them for
Huh.
will come with a backhanded cost, as you have seen
Okay.
from Strahd.
We do not intend of asking anything from them in that vein.
Mm, yes. I don't have any secret plans at all. Just one more question. Um, let's say if somebody in a hypothetical situation accepted to become a vampire or whatever, blah 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 blah, and then they were bitten by some kind of lycanthrope, would they become both, or would they just explode, or what would happen in that hypothetical scenario?
In this hypothetical scenario,
Completely
if
hypothetical, yes.
if you were bitten by a vampire, you would first become undead. Undead cannot then become contagious of other diseases.
Right, that makes sense. So okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
That's a very
Thank you,
logical
thank you. That
approach to
was very
that hypothetical.
very hypothetical. I'm totally not all making a decision between if I want to do that or the other thing. I'm totally not thinking about that right now.
You seem to
Uh,
wear your conscience on your sleeve. I would suggest a little bit more subtlety on your part.
Yes, I've heard that before. Very good point. I'm not good at thinking. I will definitely try and remember that because that's good advice. So what are we doing now?
we're
Be
going to the pools.
be warned, my young uh, dead one, as your name, dead guy, as you are called.
More of a nickname, but
If you come back as a vampire who has yet cursed this land even more, uh, I will be take it within my liberty to smite you on spot.
mm-hmm.
Dear Abbott,
I'll
dear Abbott, he's in good hands with the rest of us. We'll try to keep him not too far from the path.
yes, that's
I
why I have
am
friends.
I
They
have
bring
very
me
much
back.
confidence in the rest of you. Keep that one in
Yeah,
check.
exactly. They can keep me in check just in case something were to happen. Not saying it's going to. Accidents happen. Just saying. Anyway, I'm gonna leave now before I swallow
Well,
my
if you have
entire
such
leg.
accidents, I will accidentally smite you.
Yep, yep. Okay. I'm gonna leave now before I swallow my entire leg. Um.
You're just
All
kind of
right.
backing up slowly to the door, kind of like, clapping in between like each word. Kind of, I'm just gonna back up and.
Yeah. I can't trust myself to shut the fuck up, so I'm just gonna go. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. I believe we'll be taking our leave with him, Abbott, before he hypothetically makes any moves here.
Well, off the table though. Off the table. If I do that, and it does like kill me, it would be worth. It would be worth to make a new character because I would be very curious to see how events would unfold.
Uh,
So
all right.
I gotta write a new character. I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna make a better character later, just in case. Hypothetically, yeah, I could need it.
Hypothetically, I've
Uh,
already got 3 characters picked out, so I'm totally
Nice,
not going to do random stuff that might get me killed.
as long as
nice,
it's
nice.
as long as it's not TPK.
I mean,
Right.
there's only two of us, so it could happen.
You see him all slathering himself up with like barbecue sauce right in front of like this giant beast, and so you guys just kind of push him into it, like, fine, dude, go.
Yeah.
It's all hypothetical.
he lived a short life, but then he came back again, and it was even shorter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm ready to head out to this pool.
And then I do
sorry.
the sorry, but you got reborn again. You can't die.
Oh,
Same
God.
character. But you're back at level 1.
Oh, no,
Oh.
I'd rather make a new character.
Womp womp.
So I forget. Are we going? We're going to the pools and the dark. Is that also the Dark Temple, or is the Dark Temple a separate location? I forget.
So he pointed to the Krezik is where the pool's at. He kind of gave you a brief kind of description of where it is. So it's in the town. It's up near a gazebo on the north end. You see this kind of pool up here.
I say we go straight the hell there, and afterwards we go see what we can do about this wedding dress briefly before making our way out of town to some of the artifacts and whatnot that we need to defeat Strahd.
Okay.
I agreed with this plan. However, I still believe this is a trap. So Irina, I'm just talking to Irina right now. Irina, I think we're walking to a trap. So I think we should be like mentally prepared, paranoid, always cautious when we get in there. Because I feel like something unexpected is going to happen that we should expect. I just say we should be on full guard when we get there.
Irina says, I can understand your skepticism, but I mean, do you feel the power radiating off that guy? If he wanted to trap us, I don't think he would have sent us away to do this.
Not him. Talk about Strahd. I feel like he just knows. I feel like he just always knows.
Have you been eating those mushrooms that we found on the road?
Not today. Not today. But we only talk about that.
Because your paranoia is getting a little bit much.
Well, this is Barovia. Everything's trying to kill me.
That's true. Everything is trying to kill you.
They're making slave children to eat them, and like, how can I not be paranoid? It's Barovia.
Dead guy, I share your concerns, and I think that our best course of action here is not to tarry, and get her to the destination as quick as we can.
I agree. I don't trust him, but I do agree.
So as you pass by the gatehouses, you can see Siegfried kind of just sitting in there relaxing, and you see Otto kind of run out. Oh, how'd it go with the Abbot? How's things going?
We got more than we were hoping for, that's for sure.
Oh, that's very good. Very good. The Abbot's very helpful.
Indeed he is.
He's going to eventually cure me of this particular affliction that I've got here, and yes, absolutely. And then he heads back in.
I wish you the best, Otto.
Hope we don't go insane. You're very useful.
All right, so you make your way back down. So it's, this whole getting to the village and then climbing that and everything, it's about 3 in the afternoon by the time you guys make it back down to the main area here. At that point, making it back down, you see that the cart has already left, and there are some people out and about, but the Burgomaster's not one of them. He's gone back into his house.
We'll come back to him.
Yeah.
All right, so you start. All right, so you start making your way through the town, seeing a handful of people here and there. The bitter cold wind kind of blowing us through the trees and stuff. And eventually, you make yourself a way round to the pool. You can see the pool shining in the distance. There's also a very small kind of gazebo sitting next to it that it looks like a place where people might sit and rest and look out over the water. You just want to go up to the water?
No, hold up.
That's ominous. That's ominous.
Hold up. No,
I'm just asking what you want to do and make sure what you're doing.
I want to... There's something I can throw in the water from a distance to see if it reacts, like a rock or a frog. Preferably something living.
Yeah. So inside the gazebo, there's a wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man. It's paint chipped and faded. He's standing with his arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced.
No.
Oh. Oh, can we do a history check? Does this guy resemble Sergey from what we've heard of tales?
Yeah, go ahead and do a history check on him. You won't need much on this.
Good, because I only got 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more than me. I got an 8.
yeah. You don't recognize him, but you do recognize the big symbol kind of hanging around his bare chest there. He's got a symbol of the Morning Lord on there, so you get the idea that this is an effigy of the Morning Lord.
Okay, hands out. I just want to have Irina hug that first, because I don't know, maybe it gets her out of here. It won't take much time, anyways, but if the arms are outstretched, what can I say? Won't hurt to give it a shot.
Yeah, so she kind of approaches it very hesitantly, and then she kind of like puts her arms around it, and there's a moment of just like pause while she's holding on to this wooden statue that has not reached around to grab her, just still standing there, and she just lets go of it. Okay, I feel dumb now.
It was only an idea. Thank you for humoring it, Irina.
Sure, no problem, but if I could not hug the statue again, that'd be great.
I think that's fine.
All right. I throw it in the pond.
Okay.
You have the strength for that?
I mean, how much strength do you need to throw a fucking little wooden thing?
So as you guys are kind of standing there, Irina, as she comes closer to the bank of where this little pond is at, she starts to hear the sound of a sweet voice calling to her. It's not Strahd. You guys can hear it too a little bit. She hears a voice calling to her, leading her to the edge. As Irina reaches the pool's edge, an image appears in the sparkling blue waters, a handsome youth of kind and noble visage. The sadness in his eyes turns to sudden joy. "Tatiana," he says, "it has been so long. Come, my love, let us be together at last." Irina gasps and puts... what'd you say? No, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just gonna try to pull her back because this is death right here.
No, this is good. This is her way out. Anyways.
Are you stopping him from doing that or not?
Am I stopping Jack from doing that?
Yeah.
He's stopping me from stopping her.
Irina gasped and put her hand on her heart. "My beloved Sergey, in life you were a prince and a man of faith. We were to be married long ago. Has this blessed pool called your spirit to me?" She reaches towards the water's surface as a hand kind of rises up out of the water to take hers.
Stop it.
You have a moment to decide what you're going to do.
Strength check.
I'm slapping Jack, like we're both slapping each other, like, no, you get off.
Okay.
No, it's a trap.
So you're both kind of struggling to see who can get to her. So you're both going to need to do a check against each other to see who wins here. So I'm trying to determine what check on this. So Baralek, you're going to be using strength to hold him back, and Dead Guy, you're going to be using strength to escape and grab a hold of Irina.
That's not good.
Stumbleduck is going to come run up and help and assist Baralek.
I don't like this. I have literally.
While I'm doing this, I'm trying to persuade you as well. Like, that's Sergey. Like, I got a 15 on this strength. That's Sergey. You know.
Did you do it with advantage? Your help gets advantage.
Oh, okay. 18. Okay.
All right, Baralek. You get, or not Baralek. Dead Guy. You got one shot at this. What'd you roll? 2. Okay, so you're just like about a foot behind her, just like reaching and like throwing your arms, trying to reach and squeeze out, and they're just both kind of pulling you back as she reaches forward and grabs hold of the hand. As she does, Irina is pulled in the pool and embraces Sergey beneath the rippling water. You've never seen a happier couple as they begin to fade from view. Suddenly, a peal of thunder shakes the land and dark clouds coalesce into a terrible visage that you can see in the heavens. A deep, dark voice from beyond the mountain cries, "She is mine!" A terrible crack resounds as a blue lightning splits the sky and strikes the pool. Each creature within 15 feet of the pool must make a successful dexterity check.
Well, well, well. It was a trap. Who would have thought
No,
it?
the person that just yelled was definitely Strahd. It wasn't.
Definitely.
We still got her to safety. We've done our job. We're a good party. We're not evil.
Pretty sure Strahd has her now. Doesn't she? He?
Wasn't he pissed off? What did he say? I can't remember what he said.
Didn't Strahd said that she's mine now or something? Did I mishear what you said, Alex?
No, he said she is mine, not that she is mine now. So above this pool, you see them in the pool starting to fade. Sergei's ghost and her starting to fade out. Like you can see them, they're like their reflection. Like when she goes into the pool, it kind of she becomes a reflection, even though she's not there with this guy, and she's kind of like they're starting to fade from view when the skies overhead become dark and that voice echoes from the mountains.
Gotcha. My bad.
We're about to take some damage.
Yeah, I got a 4, so that's nice. I'm rolling like shit tonight. I'm rolling so bad tonight.
Yeah, I didn't get very good either with my -1 dexterity.
Okay, what'd you guys roll?
I got a 9.
Damn. Lucky tonight.
Okay, so everybody's knocked prone, but you don't take any damage.
Okay.
So it hits that, but it's a good thing none of you are in the pool because you would take damage because you see the pool all just like crackle with lightning as the last images of Irina and Sergei completely disappear.
Excellent. Freedom for Irina.
The pool, when you had first approached the pool, it had a kind of an unnatural gleam to it, although as though it had some sort of maybe mystical qualities. Now it looks dull and gray, as though it's just like an old pool now that has been kind of so whatever magic was in it is now destroyed.
Right. Do we have a sense of goodness about us to make dead guy feel better?
No, I do not.
I'm just saying a general sense of do-goodedness.
I feel like we just fucked up royally.
I think we may have gotten the ire of Strahd, but I mean, we were going to have that no matter what.
Or you know what? I feel like time will tell whether that was the correct.
The other thing that this lightning destroyed is it kind of blows apart as it sends this shockwave out. It blows apart this gazebo, destroying everything, including that statue.
That's not ominous.
I'm glad we weren't in the gazebo.
Yeah, me too. That would have been not good.
Mm-hmm.
So after you guys kind of shake yourselves off and stand up, you see that the skies start to go back to their normal cloudiness, but not the dark like manifest that had just happened there.
Okay. Jack, I feel really good about that. I think we did a good thing. We saved her. She's out of this land. No.
Is she really though?
I believe the Abbot.
Well, I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
If she really is outside this realm, then I really hope. I mean, I hope she actually is. I guess that's the best I can do right now.
At least she's with her Sergei. Well, what are you thinking, Jack? Should we go get that wedding dress?
The wedding dress.
For Basilica?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know. I was just trying to think, like, would that actually work? I don't think it would, but if it might work, it's worth a shot, I guess.
I'm just thinking more to get that greater restoration just while we're here, so we don't have to come back.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that.
Worst case scenario, having a scroll of restoration, as Alex said, won't be the end of the world. So.
Oh, definitely not. That should come in handy in case I do a hybrid werewolf vampire thing. I might need that
before you see the Abbot again.
Yep. Does that even work? I know it would work on me because I am dead. I'm undead and not undead. I don't know what I am.
The rules for lycanthropy are pretty complex.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, let's just see what happens in the heat of the moment.
Let's go see the burgomaster and his wife.
Yes, let's go get that wedding dress.
All right, so having kind of felt good about releasing Arena from this place, reuniting her with Sergei after these
Not really.
1,000 years. Well, everybody except Dead Guy feels just fine about it. Dumbleduck couldn't care less. He just wants to fight something. But
Fair enough,
the rest
fair
of you
enough.
feel satisfied with that outcome. You make your way back to the town. There are a few people kind of step out of their doors wondering what the heck would just happen as they look off towards where the pool and that gazebo, now destroyed gazebo, are. And they kind of give you weird looks like they think maybe you destroyed the gazebo on purpose or something as they pass. And so they kind of back away and kind of go back in their house as you pass by.
Yeah.
After another about 10 minutes or so of walking, you make it back to the burgomaster's place and approach his door, give it a nice rap on the door. The burgomaster makes his way back out. Oh, it's good to see you again, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
We've spoken to the abbot. He's certainly still there. He's just been busy with some
He
other
is.
business.
Good.
Yes, and
What,
we talked to him about your boy.
Oh, did you? Perfect.
Yes.
And what did he say?
Well, he said he'd be willing to have a go at it, but for completely unrelated reasons, we would need a wedding dress in return, and hopefully your wife would be able to help us with that.
Oh, I'll have to ask her. Dear, will you come out here? And you see this woman come out, and she definitely has a bit of more of kind of a liveliness to her, and you can sense a bit more emotion out of her. So maybe she has a soul where he doesn't. And so she comes out and says, "What is it now? What do you got going? I'm trying to attend to our son. Um, what's going on?"
Specifically in that matter, we've spoken to the abbot, who is open to seeing if he can help your son, but without getting into it, we need to free up his time by getting him a wedding dress so that he can take a look at your son. Is this something that you could help us with?
I could if I still had all of my sewing stuff, but unfortunately, I've had to trade that in. Trade that in last season. Unfortunately, but I do have coworkers, or well, I do have connections in Valaki. If you would like to go there and pick one up.
Excellent. We can certainly do that. It's not too far, so yes, we can certainly do that. And maybe before we leave town
What's
here, would we be? Oh,
uh,
sorry.
So if you really want a true fine wedding gown, I think I know of a place that you can find one that is already made, and you wouldn't have to have it ordered and made.
And where might that be?
So my husband here is the burgomaster, so we are friends with the burgomaster of Valaki, and his wife keeps a dress upstairs in her house. She might be willing to part with it for the right price on that.
Was
This
that
exquisite dress.
Wachter or Velokovich?
Volokovich, yes, the Wachter family. No, everybody hates the Wachter family.
Okay, fair enough. Before we actually leave town here, might we actually take a look at the boy, just so we can relate to the
Yes,
abbot?
absolutely. So she
Excellent.
she enters, lets you in, and then like the dad's like kind of shrugs, like I don't care, kind of lets you in the house, and so you guys make it past him and go in the house, and she like leads you into the room, and you see the boy, and he is deathly ill. I mean, just absolutely deathly ill. Uh, you don't really know what it is that's causing his death, but it's definitely he's like kind of rail thin and not able look he's able to keep down fluids, and he is just kind of like not really there. He kind of like feebly kind of looks at you, but then goes back to kind of staring at the ceiling.
Okay.
May I check his neck for any kind of teeth marks?
Mhm.
just in case?
You may absolutely do that.
Thank you. Would that be investigation?
Yes, it is.
Gotcha. Finally, 22.
Nice.
Jesus.
Yeah, so you don't see any teeth marks on him, so he's not suffering from vampirism or anything like that. You don't. I mean, he's definitely having a flop sweat, and he's just like wasting away. You're not entirely sure what is going on with him.
Do a medicine check to see if this is like a physical ailment versus a magical one.
Sure.
Probably normal fever, but who knows?
Oh my god. Okay, well I got 15. Not great.
Oh, I got 10, so it's even less great.
Yeah, you're not able to figure out exactly what it is, but it is not something that's easily fixed, and it could potentially be cured with possibly with a greater restoration spell, but you don't have one of those.
Okay, so maybe Mr. Vampire ain't getting turned back, and maybe maybe this guy's gonna use Greater Restoration. Okay.
You do
Okay.
tell that this kid probably doesn't have a week to live, though.
Oh
And how
man.
much do greater restorations cost? Like in the ballpark of gold?
Uh, that is a level like 6 or 7 spell, so it's going to be quite a bit. Um,
Sure more than we have, that's for sure.
I don't have it pulled up here at the moment. Yeah, it's definitely more than you have, so getting a free one is actually pretty good.
Man.
Maybe we should just go back up to the Abbot real quick. Tell him to make two or three of them.
Well, he said doesn't have enough time to live, so we'd have to see if the abbot could just cure him now. Like bring him to the abbot.
Yeah, a greater restoration spell would probably cost you around 1,200 gold.
Oh my god! Just started. Jesus. Yeah, we need maybe have him cure him right now, so as some kind of a down payment paid up front.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to carry him up there with Stumbleduck or whoever has the next highest strength score. Like I think if we're gonna do this, we either do it now or do it never.
Yeah, let's do it now.
Okay. So we relay the plan, considering how sick he looks and how little time we think he has to. I didn't even to Mrs. Burgermaster. See if she's okay with it. We'll take him straight to the abbot now because we suspect he won't make it till the journey back from Valaki. Is she okay with that plan to take him up to the abbot?
I guess she is. Let's go. Now, will we ever not be taking care of children?
Is your mic working there, Alex?
Oh, sorry. Yes, my apologies. I had it on mute for a second there. So, yeah. So the wife is like, yes, you can absolutely take him up the abbot if that'll heal him. If you don't mind me coming with you, I just don't want to leave him out of my sight.
Not an issue. I don't see that being an issue at all. That's reasonable.
You see the burgomaster kind of take a bite out of some food and kind of like, that sounds good to me.
Really don't like that guy. Soulless or not.
Yeah, it's not his fault he's soulless, but like at least he can
It's
learn to mimic somebody with a soul. I don't know how that would work. Let's just go on. Let's just move.
Very low charisma score.
All right, so you make your way up the thing again, followed swiftly by the mother, who's kind of like holding on to her son's hand the entire time while Stumbleduck kind of carries the boy up the mountain here, and up the cliffside. And when you make it past, of course, Otto comes kind of rushing out again, while Siegfried just kind of like stays there and like kind of gives you a small wave. He's like, "What's going on? Oh, what's with the boy?"
Well, Otto, we need to see the abbot again, and unfortunately, we've no time to spare with this one. He's quite ill.
Oh, yes, he does look quite ill. Not good at all, not good at all. I'll just run ahead and let the abbot know you're here. And so he kind of starts running as fast as he can, as fast as his little legs will take him. kind of almost doing kind of because he's kind of crouched over while he's doing it, so almost like a little bit between a normal run and kind of like an animalistic run, using his hands to run as well as he kind of runs up to go tell the abbot. And you guys are following shortly behind him. You can hear the wails of those people inside these sheds as you kind of come in as well. You see Otto stop for a second and run over to one and bang on it. Shut up in there, will ya? And he comes running towards the door.
Okay, Otto is my favorite character now.
Pretty much. Quite useful.
Love this guy.
So he comes running in, barging in. Abbot, we've got a boy who needs some help. And he comes running in and like kind of does this little bit of kind of like a presentation bow and kind of shows that you guys come running in with the boy. The abbot kind of stops what he's doing with Basilica and kind of walk quickly around. What's all this then? Is this the boy that I was making a greater restoration spell for? Or what was this?
One of them.
What was this boy for?
This is the Burgermaster's boy, and unfortunately,
yes.
Unfortunately, time was not in our favor for what we could do for him. Again, in the idea of getting this wedding dress for you, and had we waited for the scroll to be made, we're not sure he would have made it. So we're hoping to get some help for him up front, as it were. Otherwise, again, I'm not sure he'd survive the time it would take for us to acquire all these things.
Very well, very well. I will heal the boy now, but that just means that you will absolutely have to do me a favor. Before, I was kind of just throwing it out there. If you did really want the scroll, then I would have traded it for the gown, but now I will expect you to complete this task.
Absolutely. We have full intentions of completing it. So, and I say that, like, honestly.
So he comes up, and you see him kind of, like, start to do a little praying motion, and then you see his hand start to glow a little bit, and he takes his hand down and touches the boy with his glowing hand, and for a brief moment you sense his full power, and it is staggering to you. Like, you have not felt anything like it. And then it's just as quickly as that motion, that felt comes through, it disappears as the light disappears as well, and you see the boy's eyes start to become more wider, his skin starts to look better, and he's like, now the boy just needs rest and plenty of food. He looks quite famished.
Thank you so much, Abbot. Thank you so much.
Indeed. Now, I believe you have a wedding dress to get for me. Heads back off to go to help out Basilica, who has now dropped another thing that she was doing. She was kind of doing, she was holding some like stuff in her hands, like kind of doing this like balancing act of trying to walk like a proper lady, but she's now dropped everything on the floor, and so he's come over there to pick it up again and try to do that.
Hey, Abbot, is she capable of like speaking?
Not full words yet. And she kind of turns. She kind of turns and looks at the abbot, and you hear her say,
I nudge Dead Guy and I say, enough with the Basilica questions. We convinced him once.
Hey, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, I'm not against the asking. I'm just being careful.
You just kind of grab and push Dead Guy out the door before he can ask anything.
Hey, I'm not done asking my questions. When did she die? Where you get to look?
Dumbleduck assists you and pushes him out the door.
We've already gotten suckered into getting this wedding dress.
I'm just curious.
Need to stop being such goody two-shoes and helping everybody on the way.
Tell me about it. I just feel like, I don't know why, I feel like every quest we had so far, some kind of like, maybe not time limit is the phrase, but it feels like, hey, if you don't do this soon, the consequences will be on you like immediately, and they'd be like really bad. I feel like that's why we do it, all of them immediately, because it's like a lot of pressure to do it immediately. If this was just like, oh yeah, yeah, sure. I don't care if you get it done in a year. And I'd be like, okay. But, you know,
I think it's a good thing of the module because it helps you
I think so
like
too. Yeah.
you need to like prioritize what you're going to do where, and like I feel like we may have gotten a little off track with the wedding dress, but at the same time now I don't want to piss this guy off because like if that's his true power, I ain't pissing him off.
Thankfully, the only thing he's asking for is a wedding dress. I seriously doubt his plans are gonna work, but like, it's just a wedding dress. You know.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about just a wedding dress, but yeah, I know. Hopefully it's simple.
So you do remember that the Izek, the guard that you met with the very strange looking arm, had invited you to come meet with the burgomaster anyways, so you have that invitation already.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk to the mother briefly. I ask her if she'll write a letter, saying in support, or perhaps if she has a favor to call in, that we can take the letter with us to the other burgomaster. Basically an in to help us get this wedding dress a little bit easier.
She is now, she's got a hold of the boy, kind of carrying him, and he's kind of hugging her and looking happy, and she's like, absolutely, I will 100% write a letter. You guys have been too kind and gone out of your way to help us.
Excellent. We'll follow them down back to the village then.
So Otto's just kind of going on and stuff, and goes, wasn't there a redheaded woman with you before? Where did she go?
Yeah, she died.
She died?
Yeah,
no.
Oh my! That's a quick death. What killed her?
She found her.
This light portal. It was. Ugh.
She found her freedom. She found her freedom, Otto. No need to worry.
Yeah, by freedom, like on the other side of life.
On the other side of the mist, she finally found her way out of this Barovia.
You just see him. You just see him like completely confused and trying to work through this. Like he just stops in place. Like, is that on the other side of the portal? Does that mean? Is that another way of saying she died? I'm not understanding this.
I pat him on the head and I say, Otto, all is well. She's fine.
Okay, I understand. And you see him kind of for a moment when you pet him on it, he gets kind of this animal instinct, and he kind of does like this like rub against your hand for a second. Then he catches himself like, oh,
that's adorable. I love that.
Nope, and he starts banging his hand against his head. No animal instincts. Gotta keep away from that.
Be well, Otto. Be well.
All right, then come back. Come back. I'm either here or I'm digging graves. So,
Oh, yeah, there's that whole thing about digging graves too. Well, I think we figured out why the graves were dug now. Basilica.
Yeah, you guys kind of figure out that that's probably where all the parts or all the graves have been dug up. So,
yeah, almost forgot about that. All right, we'll collect that letter, and then before we get sidestepped into anything else, get out of this town.
All right, so you guys make your way back down. Another 15 minutes or so, get back down, and when you make it back to the burgomaster's house, the boy is already started to get so much better. He still looks very rail thin because he hasn't eaten well, but he's able to stand and walk now by the time you get down here, and his mother's holding his hand so he doesn't fall over. You see the father kind of actually start to have a smile of happiness on his face. Oh, you fixed my boy. That is great. Very
Indeed
good.
We did.
Very good. I suppose I should offer you a place to stay if you like. Getting dark soon.
What do you think, Jack? I think we should. I agree. I don't think we should head out, through the night. But what do you think?
Thanks to you guys, I ain't gonna stay up all night again. So yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, we'll take him up on that offer.
All right, then I will talk to the innkeeper. I don't have a room in my house, but I'll go over to the innkeeper. And he walks over there and he kind of comes back out and he says, I got you a great deal at the inn. Just a copper piece each. Well, actually, it's a silver piece each. Why did I say copper for? That doesn't make sense.
I was like, deal. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll And of course, we'll collect that letter from either Burgomaster or
People
Mrs.
keep saying I
Burgomaster.
have no idea how much money is, so that might be my issue.
That's a tough issue to have, especially as the Burgomaster.
Indeed. But, I suppose if we had elections, they would have voted me out, but Burgomasters don't have elections, so I don't have to worry about that. And so he walks off.
I love that. That's funny.
My man got his priorities straight. I love it.
And we did collect the letter, correct?
Yeah, so she's going to write the letter for you, collect it in the morning.
Okay, perfect. I just don't want to leave without that because something tells me it's going to make things a whole hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, she's and you can see that she's very much involved with like wanting to take care of her son at the moment, but she has guaranteed that she'll have a letter for you by tomorrow.
Excellent.
Okay. So you make your way into the inn. There's a handful of people there who are, it looks like, well, actually more than a handful, probably about a dozen people there. And it looks like the barkeep is struggling to keep up. It looks like these people have been waiting on, and many of these people are guards that were posted up on the thing that are now off duty. They're all drinking wine though, and kind of taking advantage of this fresh wine. Many of them are already pretty sloshed.
Nice.
I'm glad they haven't reached Schmammered yet.
As you come in, you see the barkeep / innkeeper say, "Oh, so you must be the crew that the Burgomaster wants me to give you a discount for. Yeah, that'll be 1 silver piece each."
Are you sure you don't want to discount a little more, considering all the patrons we've brought you with?
Look, it's been several days since I made any money, since the only reason people come here is to drink, since we don't get a lot of people from out of town. The inn part of this situation doesn't go on very much, so I don't think I can lower it any more than that.
Fair enough. I acquiesce.
Okay.
I've reduced it on my...
Yeah, make sure you guys reduce your money by 1 silver piece. Do you want anything to drink?
I'm okay, but I think our pal here, Grimness, will chug a few down. And probably Stumbleduck too.
Yeah, Stumbleduck already goes over and he asks for a drink, and the guy brings over a wine bottle, and he starts to pour it into a cup, and Stumbleduck just grabs the wine bottle and sets down a bag of like gold, or like 10 gold pieces down. Keep the bottle and keep them coming. Starts taking a drink out of that.
The guy's eyes probably light up at the it's 10 gold pieces?
Yep.
Nice. I leave Stumbleduck to his devices.
If I can't be fighting, I'm gonna be drinking.
Hopefully we'll get you some action soon, Stumbleduck.
Sometimes I be fighting after I be drinking.
Don't get us thrown out of town.
He starts eyeing the people around like he's looking to size someone up for a fist fight or something.
Oh, no. Buddy.
I'll be good on my best behavior.
I pat him on the back. Enjoy your wine, buddy.
Alright, so everybody can do a long rest, which I don't think you guys had any fights, so it should be okay.
Nice.
Alright, so the next morning, you guys are, up at the crack of dawn, getting ready for the journey. Use as much daylight as possible. You make your way over to the Burgomaster's house, and no more than you just barely start to rap on the door, you see the wife open it open, kind of flings it open, and she kind of comes out and hugs the first person she sees and says, it kind of gives like a side kiss on the side of the face. So dead guy, she flings her arms around you and gives you a kiss on the side of your face. She says, "Thank you guys so much. He's doing so much better. He ate a full meal last night, 2 whole portions. He's doing so good."
Glad to be of service.
And she hands you, Belleric, your the letter, and says, This will most likely, this will definitely give good persuasion to giving you the dress. It explained the entire situation to her. She's my good friend, so she should give you the dress with little bit of request maybe with that, but I can't guarantee it'll be a free, but it should be pretty close to free. Maybe a little gold will ease that, but depends. If you
Thank you so
get in
much.
good with her husband, and it'll be a definite.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. It's been quite the journey to this point so far, and we've got quite a few more missions to do before we're done. I'm sure.
I didn't know dead people can blush. Come on.
Yeah, she does. She before you guys could even contemplate the rest of that, she's already thanked you and left. Went back inside the house, and you see the burgomaster kind of like who's standing in the doorway, kind of shrug and then like shut the door right after that.
Perfect. All right. Shall we head out, dead guy? We'll head back to Velaki.
Let's do it.
All right, you make your way to the gate. You can see that the guards are there opening the door, and they each have like little flasks that they have with wine or something that they're trying to keep kind of hidden, but you can see them taking sips out of it every once in a while as you pass.
Finally feel like we've done something truly good in the world. Made this town happy.
Well, except for one person. He's dead now. But yeah, other than that, pretty nice.
uh,
Save it. Did so much in this town. And back to Barovia's maps. If you need to take a quick bio break, feel free to do so.
I might actually just get a glass of water here. Be back.
All right. Hey, Alex. Must be muted.
Yeah, what's going on?
How, in a hypothetical situation, if I were to become a vampire, what would I lose and what would I gain? Do you know that off the top of your head?
So you gain quite a bit of like abilities, but yeah, you are
You'll
guessing
walk in sunlight.
you get the standard thing. Sunlight definitely hurts you. You know, you could potentially you can't it could kill you. Yeah, you're gonna take damage every time you're in sunlight for a certain amount of rounds. And then you can definitely get hurt by running water is one thing. You can't be go into people's houses unless you're invited there. Basic stuff, vampire stuff. I could
Gotcha,
read the
gotcha.
rest to you, but also there's this kind of a thing where when you become a creature like that, it may be one of those things where they become a little bit too overpowered. And so in that case, I take control of your character and you become another enemy. But it just depends. Usually, vampirism is not one that a creature or a player can do because it definitely interferes with a lot of the way that the game works. Lycanthropy doesn't have that much of a change.
There is the Dampier race, or the Dampier.
Yeah, that's why they
race.
invented the Dampier, was because that way it's kind of a chance for players to use a vampire-like character without breaking the game.
What you call it? A dampier? What's a dampier?
Yep, Dampier. So it's kind of a mix between a vampire and human. Like a vampire has a humanoid baby or something. So they don't get their powers from being bitten. They're kind of
Born that way.
Are you familiar with the Castlevania series?
A little bit. It's been a while.
So Alucard in that is a Dampier because he's a actual baby from a human and a vampire.
Oh, okay. And there's like a playable race in D&D. A damn.
It is a new one, yes.
Okay.
An official one. It has been in the past, but it's officially become a thing since the release of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft.
I've been enjoying the campaign so much. I actually picked up that. That's
where you got the ability to become the character you are, because I have that
right
thing. So a Reborn was one of the 3 that was introduced in that expansion.
Have you considered using the stress mechanic?
Stress mechanic
from Van Richten's, like.
Oh no, I haven't looked at that. I should.
It looks pretty cool, and like, it looks like a fun way to add a bit more, like really, like bring in that horror aspect to things.
That's classic my character. He's already paranoid.
Yeah, I remember looking at that now. I haven't incorporated it yet because I feel like this whole thing can be a bit stressful as is, and so I haven't felt the need to do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like people when I'm running through this, they're not exactly like, oh, this is so super easy. So they're usually having to make hard choices already and getting stressed out by what's going on. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to add that just yet.
Fair enough.
But if I was playing a different, like, created domains of dread kind of thing where I needed to add stress or something, but this one is pretty stressful already. So
we've seen it in our decision tonight whether or not to let Irina go in.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of the quests are time sensitive, so that adds stress as well. So.
Yeah, that is becoming apparent. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this Wizard of the Winds isn't going to last.
So
kind of on the bottom of our priority list.
Something has to be, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are making your way back down the path towards Vallaki, heading that direction. Okay, and so I got to roll for encounters every so often here. Let's see if we run into anything at the moment. Second.
Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah, you definitely ran into something. I figure out what it is.
Okay, that headless horseman that we met the first time, was that a Dullahan?
No, it was just a skeletal rider on a skeletal horse.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, thank you for not making that thing actually come at us. Freaking crits us.
Running into a werewolf.
Possibly, there's a chance that could be. There are werewolves out here.
That would make my journey so short. Either by dying or by becoming a werewolf.
Is this part of your character's backstory, like the reborn thing, or is this just a personal thing?
Just a personal thing. Because my character's backstory is like, there's like I forget. I think there's like 3 subclasses for reborn. One of them is that girl earlier who just gets like put together through the experiment. And another one, the one I'm playing as, is like a dude who like he dies and he like literally just comes like outside a grave and has like no memory of his previous life. So he had, I guess he does have a backstory. He just like doesn't like remember it. Like when you guys like first met him, just wandering for like 10 minutes in the death house. That's all he knows. So I don't think he really like what I'm trying to do here. I really don't think he understands who he is. So I think he's like trying to like I think he's like extra curious. I like to play him as extra curious about literally everything. So maybe he can like find something he likes or dislikes to help him like identify himself. You know what I
Fair
mean?
enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Make an identity for himself. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to make an identity for himself, just in case he can't remember his old one.
Okay, so out of or kind of surrounding you, kind of as you're making your way down the road, you see the trees or what the bushes start to move, and you realize that you are surrounded by a number of needle blights. You recognize them a little easier because of fighting them at the winery. Just need to see how many there are here.
Fireball.
I am furiously pointing at my Gulthias staff and saying, hey. No way, nobody's. Down, bad boy.
All right.
Does that work?
I need to see something on that Gulthias staff here real quick.
Yeah, it's the Blightbane.
Yeah. So, sorry, I gotta read up on this again.
All good.
Yeah, Blightbane. Like, tuned to the staff, blights and other evil creatures don't regard you as hostile unless you harm them. So, they will ignore you, but
Okay.
they're not necessarily ignoring the rest of the party.
Okay. Well, depending how many there are, maybe I'll be burning this staff.
Okay, so there was only. We'll go. Hold. Oh, okay, there it is. So there are a total of 6 of them altogether. So they've kind of surrounded you. You guys are more like further up the road on this thing. So they're from different areas, about 3 on each side. So, all right. So one over here, kind of coming out of this tree line. The one ways down. One more coming from that tree line over here. A couple over here, kind of like from behind. So they've kind of got you surrounded. A little bit of room for escape, but they're all around you. So we're going to roll initiative in just a moment here. This is the reason I don't like random encounters, because I got to do all this off the fly, and I can't do that ahead of time.
Get rigged. Like, oh hey, it's a random encounter, but really it's something you already had set up to make life easier on you.
I did that initially. I used to put in like all these random encounters, but the way that they have searching for encounters, they have this like page system. You can't see them all at once. So you got to scroll through all your pages, and it's like it became kind of a like way too much. So I just make the encounters as I go now. So
I got you.
All right. So go ahead and roll initiatives.
15.
12.
All right, so 12. Okay. Then Pigman, I'll roll for Grimness. Stumbled. So the first to respond is one of the needle blights, one that first kind of stepped out here. He immediately starts to fling his needle at you. He doesn't approach. Instead, he's just going to do his long-range needle attack. So he flings a needle at Pigwin, actually, right here. So Pigwin has... Yeah, Pigwin's going to take a hit from... Take a total of 8 piercing damage from that hit. So it just kind of lodges itself into her shoulder. Okay. But it is Pigwin's turn, so Pigwin is immediately able to respond. She kind of just pulls out her longbow and lets loose. She's going to return that strike with one of her own, and she actually gets 2 attacks now at level 5, so she's going to do 2 shots. So,
Nice.
28 to hit on the first one, and 26 on the second, so she's going to hit on both. She just decimates this thing, breaking it apart with both of those attacks. Nam Foodle Stumbleduck is up, so he is going to run. He's going to rage up and go running at him. Finally, some action! He comes running towards this guy, all raged up, and going to swing his battle axe twice. 2 different battle axes, I should say. And going to hit on both. He's going to do 10 and 5, so that he destroys that one as well. Okay, so next up is another needle blight. So this one kind of moves into the road and flings a needle at Barrelak. So,
I got the Gulthias staff.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Ignores you. Never mind. Thank you for reminding me. It ignores you, so it's just throwing stuff at the others. Actually, it's going to throw it at Stumbleduck since he just ran and destroyed one. So he's going to throw this needle at him. And 19 to hit, which is going to hit Stumbleduck for 8 damage. So he kind of catches him in the shoulder, back of his shoulder there. Next up is Barrelak. You're up. So they don't receive you as a threat until you do something that would do that. So.
Oh, they're gonna start perceiving me as a threat.
Okay.
I am going to. What should I do here? What should I do? I'm gonna shillelagh, and then I'm gonna move up to the closest one to me. So one of the 2 in behind us there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna lay into him. So, 13. I don't know if that hits.
It does.
Ooh, I rolled a 12.
Okay.
And that's about all I can do. So I'm done.
Right. You hit a 12, you said, on damage?
Yeah, on damage, yeah.
Oh, you destroy it. You just totally waste it.
Oh, nice. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, damn, that guy has a lot of HP for Mind Blight.
Okay. All right.
And
so Grimness is up next. Grimness will chase after this one over here. For the Divine Mother! Running over with his Warhammer. And he is going to smack at it with both hands. And he got a critical 1. So let's see. So Stumbleduck comes running at this guy, Warhammer out, trips on a rock, and lands face first in the mud right in front of it. You see his little feet kicking as he's like still trying to run for a second.
All
right. Next up is actually so he still has some movement left. He is going to attempt to roll away. Dex check and roll away so he doesn't get an opportunity attack on him. And yeah, he doesn't quite do that. So the monster's going to take a strike at him. Its claws, and it misses. So he very he very lazily kind of rolls out of the way, but the monster itself is just kind of like not really ready for him, and so he kind of just swipes and misses him. almost like an adult kind of chasing a child. I'm gonna get you, kind of thing, you know.
You'll never get me. Yeah, see?
And then Sumbleduck, after he does that, he gets up and moves the rest of his feet away from him, kind of wiping the mud off his face. All right, so that same Needle Blight, though, is going to turn and throw a needle at the guy who just tried to hit him. So he's going to throw that. And it got a critical one.
Oh, boy.
Oh, nice.
Man.
Big roller.
So, yeah, so it just flings it and just goes flying off in the distance. Totally misses. Alright, and then the last of the Needle Blights. Kind of just stepping out of the trees and flinging another one at Pigwin. Ooh, got a nat 20. That's gonna hurt. Six. Okay, that's a 15 damage total to Pigwin. Perfect strike with that needle. Pigwin's about half down.
Oof.
Definitely damaged. Dead guy, you're up. But there are only 3 left, so.
Where are the 3 at? It's kind of hard to see.
So there's, yeah, I know they kind of blend in, which is what they do in real life or fantasy life.
I want to use Fireball, but I don't want to burn down the forest.
I feel like you're like a kid with a new toy who just wants to blow shit up now. You're like,
I want to use Fireball so badly. Fuck.
I'm sure you'll get the chance.
Oh, I want it now. Alright, fine. I'll use Magic Missile at third level. Oh, ooh. I forgot about third level. Ooh,
you get
I got
5 instead of 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
So
it
is
scales
that,
up with
that
every new
4?
level you get, with every new spell level you get.
So is Magic Missile at third level 4 Magic Missile?
5, because it's 3
5?
initially, and then 1 you get for every level beyond that.
Hell yeah! All right, I'll send 2 to the first guy, the second guy, and 3 to the last guy. Well, that's 6, right? Shit, I got excited.
That's 7 if you did 2, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I got excited. And I wasn't thinking. It's my bad. Yeah, so 2 to the first guy, and then 2 to the second guy. No, wait, shit. Okay, so if I do 1 magic missile for 3 of them, I can do another one to the first guy. That's 2. Another one to the second guy. Can I do another one to the third guy then?
So I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice as a gamer here. So you know they don't have a lot of hit points. You know that your magic missiles don't do a lot of hit damage. You know that if they get another chance to attack, they're probably going to do more damage. So why are you splitting your damage up so much between them? Because if you give each one, it's the max it can do for you is 6 damage or 4 or 5 damage.
I'll just do the math out loud.
So why not at least 3 to 1? That way you have a good chance of hitting their dice. If not a 4th one to 1, and then just whatever's left to another one to make it easier to kill.
Okay, I'll do that then. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cast, yada yada yada, loaded one. Okay, so the first guy will take 4. I didn't hit that button. 6, 4, 5. No wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My bad, 8. And then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage.
Okay, so 3 to 1. That's going to take 13 damage. That first one explodes from those 3 hits.
And then the second guy will take 5, and then 6, 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And the last guy will take 5 points of damage.
How many did you roll?
It's 5, right?
Yeah, 5. But the first one you said you did 13 damage. There's no way you can get 13 damage out of 2 dice.
I thought the first guy was I'm sorry. I thought the first guy was the 3-1, and then it's just 1, and then their guy is also just 1.
Yeah. So the first guy was 3 that I counted. So 13 damage would have been if you got if they had 3 on him. The second guy you said you hit for how much?
The second guy is. What did I say? 5? I think I said 5, right?
Okay, so yeah, if you just did 1, you got the max damage. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you
I
said
think I
more
did.
than 5. I was like, there's no way that you could have done that with just 1 die.
No, not for that guy. No.
Okay. And then the last guy is how much?
5 again, I believe. Yes, 5 again.
Nice. Max damage.
Nice. Finally, rolling really good. I mean, I complain about rolling really low tonight, but I did get like 2 20s. It's been like nothing but 20s and 1s tonight, to be quite honest. Like nowhere in the middle. It's either a complete success or a complete fail tonight, which is really fun though. It's been a really fun session.
Yeah.
So Pigwin takes her bow out again, and we're moving into round 2. She shoots her first one at one of the guys. 12 is going to hit, so she that. 5 or 9 damage, so she destroys one, and so she immediately attacks the second one with her other pot. And that's going to be an 11 to hit, which is going to miss. So she missed the second one. Alright. Next up is Stumbleduck. So Stumbleduck, still raged up, turns and makes his dash towards this thing. Gonna hit. Gotta kill me another one. Yes. He missed on the first one. He missed on the second one. He got a little too rambunctious. But that needle blight is the one that's in front of him, so it doesn't. It's not gonna doesn't know self-preservation, so it's gonna attack with its claws, and it's gonna hit on Stumbleduck for 6 piercing damage. So Stumbleduck 6.
I think we've taken more damage from these 6 vine blights than we did like the group of 20 or so.
Yeah, but yeah, he handled those pretty well though. Although I know, I mean, Dead Guy got pretty clawed up by those little twig blights though.
Yeah,
You mean the
building.
initial ones? Yeah, because you got lucky though, because you had that cart that was kind of taking some of those hits. So.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, so he destroys the last one, and yeah, after a minute or so of kind of just waiting to see if any more appear, you realize that you are now once again in the clear. The pieces of these needle blights now kind of spread out on the ground. All right. And so you guys take a moment to look around and then start heading down the road again. On your way to continue on your way to Valaki. All right. To the bridge and then do another roll. These rolls are not in your favor tonight.
Oh no.
Tell me about it. Is it a werewolf?
We don't know yet. I'm rolling to find out.
I know. I'm just messing around.
Hey, no problem. All right.
Hey, Barely, what class are you again?
Druid.
Druid, right.
So just before you get to the bridge, you notice that there is a trail that you hadn't noticed before that kind of goes off in the road, as though something has just made a trail that's cut through there, a foot trail basically that cuts through the wilderness, heading north into this area, but right here.
Yeah, I'm not taking that.
Can I investigate the area to see if I see anything?
Yeah,
Like
do
footmarks,
it.
whatever, footprint. That'd be investigation or can't speak English. Perception.
So you can do an investigation. Perception's just going to let you see what you can see available. Investigation would be more like you are, investigating things, looking closely at stuff to see if you can figure out what's going on. If there's anything hidden.
18.
I'll look at him.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'll cast guidance on him, but I should say that before the roll. So
yeah, that's okay. So you kind of investigate. Notice that there are a little bit of like pieces of some fur, something. A group of humanoids have made this path. There, from what you can tell of the footprints and the occasional little bits of looks like pieces of blights or something. You're guessing that this was left by a trail of druids.
Interesting.
I don't want to follow this dead guy. We're pretty low on some of us. So
you don't want to follow this completely not ominous trail. All right.
Yeah, not at all. In fact, I want to proceed with a little bit of caution for the next little distance, just to make sure we don't get jumped.
Now you want to persuade with caution, but we were taking the girl to the pond. You're like, oh no, it's fine.
So proceeding with caution does slow you down a little bit, but it also makes me roll disadvantage on those potential encounters.
At least just like for the little bit of time past the bridge, just in case it's an ambush.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys make it past the bridge and you continue moving. Nothing seems to happen there. The road then splits off with the minor road heading north again. You can, as you kind of went over the bridge, you could see that tower off in the distance over there that is listed on your map, showing the tower near that. So, and you continue on, I'm assuming, heading that way down the road still?
I was just looking at the map here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way the bigger road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So roll here. All right. So nothing. Okay. And so no big deal here. You do also see that little small trail that heads up on the mountain there. And according to your map of what he told you, that's where the Argynvost Holt is up on that hill.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys continue moving on.
You will be going there.
And you come back to this intersection where you see that old trail that heads south to the village of Berez, where that's been unused for a very long time.
Yeah, and Berez. Yes, yeah, Argynvost was a dragon. Berez was the drowned village, right?
Yep. Ruins of Berez that's been kind of swallowed up by the river. Yeah. All right. So the rest of the way goes pretty successfully. You make it back to the village of Vallaki.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
And I know we're a few minutes early, but I think this is probably a good stopping point.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what you're thinking, Jack, but I think we do the quickest work we can to get this wedding dress and then start making our way to Argynvost, Verez, and looking for the wizard.
Definitely.
Because, yeah, I have a feeling we got a little suckered into helping out that kid.
I feel so too.
Yeah, I think we're burning valuable time to get rid of Strahd.
All right. We will have you guys coming into the village of Vallaki next time.
Oh wait, so we're nearing Vallaki?
Yeah, you just made it to Vallaki.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hey Berlick.
Yep.
That whole wizard quest, is there a time limit on that one?
Well, I don't know, but I imagine there's probably a bit of a time limit on all of them. But I think we just do what we can to get the wedding dress as quick as we can, and maybe on the way back we hit up Verez or something not too far off the beaten trail, And yeah,
because I remember the whole werewolf thing was. I'm trying to remember. I think it was like near Blocky. I think it was like.
north, I
Was it
think.
northwest, northeast in the forest somewhere? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, so what he had told you, the wolf hunters had told you, was that it was north of Lake Baratok. So Baratok is on the map is that you have is labeled up here. That's near where the wizard's tower. That's or the tower that you have on your map.
Oh, sweet. So the wizard. Oh, so is that what the wizard is, or near there ish?
It's a tower that is a wizard's tower, not necessarily for that wizard though.
True.
Not
But
the
it might be
wizard.
it might be a good place to check out to see if you could find any particular things there.
I mean, if we're looking for the wizard, and then we next session, and then we head off to the wizard tower to look. If we got time, I wouldn't complain about making a pit stop to a certain, maybe it's a cave nearby with werewolf hunters, werewolves in it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we can always check it out on the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I meant. Just on the way, you know how.
I just see the two of you, him sitting there going, maybe we should stop by and see this werewolf place just to check it out. And Barrelx on like, turns to the rest of them, keep walking.
But I'm trying to get more powerful to defeat Strahd. I'm a good person. See, I'm thinking.
Does the werewolf actually make you a better spellcaster?
I have no idea. Probably not.
You're gonna get the werewolf power, and you're gonna go to try to melee Strahd, and it's just gonna be like batting you out of the way.
I can burn you alive or chop your head off. Pick one.
Anyways, I'm gonna be heading to bed. I will see you guys next Wednesday.
Yep, see you guys later.
It's not, bros.
Have a good night.
You too.